Is Hollywood's portrayal of of obesity or the stigmatism that is carried with that? Do we live? Can you speak to the fact about how the society we're living in? Is it mostly focused on thin people, skinny people? Can you just talk about that?
I would say that today's perception wasn't what it was 50 years ago. And even 100 years ago, media, whatever the mediums were, whether it was a statue, because if you remember, the Greeks were thick, and they didn't mind showing the buxomous women and bosoms and big buttocks and things of that nature, till when we got into cinematographics, and there were still women that were portly being portrayed and men that were portly, because it was a sign of affluence if you had some girth to you, that you were affluent, you were able to eat, where the skinny people were looked down upon because they were poor. You knew they were poor because they didn't have that girth. So now you have Hollywood's image of what's sexy, and the body images. It's okay to have the cleavage and a booty, but we don't want to see the fat. We don't want to see the jelly rolls, You don't see fat people dancing. I remember when So You Think You Could Dance came out. It was a heavyset brother, and I used to watch it religiously. It was a heavyset brother on the show, and he could move. He could dance. My son could dance too. But he didn't win. You don't see fat people winning in Hollywood. You don't see fat people being projected as any image in Hollywood that people need to see. They are looked at, like the show says, the Biggest Loser. Why couldn't it be The Biggest Winner? Why did they choose to name it The Biggest Loser? Because they're losing. They're not just shedding fat and muscle and all of these things that are getting them healthy. I think that's a winner, not a loser.
Are fat people sexy? It's the label that comes with being fat. It's like how can I phrase it? Skinny is in, fat is not. Plain and simple. You see it in music videos, you see it in magazines, you see it on TV, you see it in movies, books we read. Even in the little children's TV shows, you see it now. So it's like the world is telling us fat people don't belong. And it's a hindrance to us, because it's like when we wake up, we already hit the stereotypes. So why go out? Why even try? Why not just sit home behind your own closed doors and protect yourself? And that's so many of us are thinking that today, or so many of us are even taking our own lives, because it's like, why bother? I can't lose the weight. I tried everything. I'm done.
Some of these shows on TV, reality cartoons, you watch Family Guy, you see a heavyset guy with a pretty looking woman. You look at King of Queens, there's a heavyset guy with a cute woman. There's always a stereotype of having a heavier man with a good looking woman, but you never see it the other way around. I mean, the last time I saw something on TV where there was a heavyset woman with a sexy man, I mean, I really haven't seen that. I've seen shows where they're about the same weight, but even on TV, you watch it, it's disproportionate.
You even have her movie, Fat Girls, where she was this big, voluptuous woman, and this guy, she totally fell in love with her, and he was glad that she was a big woman. But the movie was a part that, even though she was a big woman, she didn't get that. She didn't get the fact that, wow, this strong, beautiful man loved her, because stereotypes is that we're not supposed to get that. So it's like on a scale of 1 to 10. Warner would get the most play. Johnny would get some play. Warner would get 10, Johnny would get 5, I would get 0. Or a little bit I did get, it wasn't on a love base, it was on a, let's see what.
I see your stuff on Facebook, and I see somebody said you was a liar. You had lied and lied and lied all your life. And then there was girls that were coming for you, you know, saying, okay, you could do me. Who was that? Talk about that.
Johnny hacked.
Talk about that situation.
Johnny hacked
I
my
didn't
Facebook.
I didn't hack.
I was
Iman-
signed in.
He was sleeping, right, John?
No, he was outside talking to my girl, and Iman has a bad habit that he always leaves his door unlocked. So he left his door unlocked, and he was outside talking to my girl. I closed the front door, and me and my brother went into his room, and we have wrote on Facebook. I mean, I can't deny it anymore. I love girls. I can't be without girls. I just had a girl in my room, and it was great. And then at the end of it, I put, oh, by the way, Johnny Valette is my idol.
I get it like just recently. I get. I fooled myself to think that I had a thyroid problem. It could be a thyroid because people get away from thyroid problems. I thought about that, but then in all reality, I'm just down in the dumps. My metabolism is still where I am. Yeah, until I can get myself in it, until I can improve my self-esteem and get the support I need, or the support I feel I need, or get back into the world. Like I could probably lose it, control it, because I've lost weight in the past. And that's the problem. I've stuck to diets to go to weddings or to go to events. I'm planning on losing like 25 pounds for my 25th birthday, but I just don't stick with things. And it's just, I try it, then I get knocked down again. And I tend to, when I get knocked down, I tend to give up easily. That's why I feel like I need a group. I need somebody, and that's the honest thing. Some people just need some people need help, a little bit more help. Some people need a circle. That's why they do it. That's why all these Zumba groups and all these other Baileys and all these women's fitness things are working, because they have these groups available to do what they need to do. Do what they need.
Listening to Iman and what he's saying about eating and dieting, I think a lot of it has to do also with our financial situation. You know, breakfast is breaking your fast after you're sleeping. So for you to have the proper nutrition throughout the day, so that way you can balance your body out, right? I think that's extremely important. I think that sometimes when we look at what we eat, is not sometimes out of choice, but out of necessity. You know, if you don't have the financial means to eat properly, you're gonna eat McDonald's, you're gonna eat pizza, you're gonna eat Wendy's, you're gonna eat whatever is economically available for you. I mean, gout was the rich man's disease. High in proteins, people that eat red meat. And I think that a lot of times we eat what sometimes is available for us, and what's available for us sometimes is not the most nutritious thing for us. Is what's available and what we can obtain at that time. So I think that that also is a big factor in, you know, the food that we consume, is because we're limited economically to a certain extent on what we eat. And if you want to have a head of lettuce versus having a red leaf lettuce, you're gonna have to go spend a little bit extra to get something healthier. A lot of us, we can't afford to go to Whole Foods and spend our whole paycheck at Whole Foods. You know, we're gonna be able to buy whatever we can financially afford to consume. And sometimes the cheaper ham, the cheaper salami that we buy in the bodegas is not the most healthiest thing we're taking into our body. And so we're not at fault for eating a ham and cheese sandwich versus someone else that can afford to have a more nutritious ham and cheese sandwich versus us, because we still think it's a ham and cheese sandwich, but it's just not as healthy because of the byproducts that they put into a lot of the foods that we have.
Which is totally right. Like, it's so hard for me to go to the supermarket and get what I need. Well, it's hard to get what I want and to get what I need in the supermarket. Because what I want to buy and what I need are two different things. And being that I do not have a job and I am financially in a bind, I have to buy things that I need than rather what I want. Because I can want to just buy fruit and stuff, and that's that, but will that last? No. I need to buy things that, with this little bit of money, who said they give me, I can make it last for a week or two or three. You know what I'm saying? Because I may want to buy a salad, but that salad by day 4 is bad.
Absolutely. I agree
So
with
what
you
I
saying.
have to do, I have to turn that salad into some Hot Pockets. I have to turn that those grapes into some ravioli or some tuna or something that's going to stick to my stomach and make sure I'm able to eat and survive for the next day. So right now, I'm not eating to be fat. I'm eating to survive.